I think it's interesting. We Republicans have been proud of our party. We've been proud of being for limited government and balancing budgets and always remembering that government has no money. It's your money. And trying to make sure that we follow our core principles. But over the last, 2 months, I've been looking at polling data, and one of the biggest, most important blocks in this election, the group that may make the difference between whether or not there are 39 seats or 40 seats, and instead of calling Lamar Smith Congressman Smith, we'll be calling him Chairman Smith. The important are independents. And when you look at polling data, what are independents really looking for today? Well, they don't want government to be the answer to everything. They actually want smaller government. Now, they're looking up in Washington, but spending is out of control. They want to reduce spending. They want to make sure that our budget is balanced. We have to do that in Texas. In fact, one of the first things we're going to do in January, we're going to pass out a resolution out of the Senate, send it over to the House, calling for Congress to pass a constitutional amendment requiring them to balance their budget just like the states do. Our Republican majority, I'm so proud of. If you just go back over the last 7.5 years, contrast what Washington is doing, out of control spending. The national debt is now $13 trillion. By the end of the decade, it'll be $20 trillion. The debt service alone will be $1 trillion a year. How do we ever get out of this? And we need a Republican majority in Washington just like we have here in Texas. Let me tell you what a Republican majority will do in Washington. Let me tell you what this Republican majority is doing in Texas. Over the last 7.5 years, we've held down the increases in spending here in Texas to 3.3% per year, our general revenue budget. Those are Texas tax dollars. Now, that 3.3% is less than inflation plus population growth. And if you take out of that 3.3%, the $7 billion a year when we cut local school property taxes from $1.50 down to $1, the state absorbs $7 billion. Still hasn't. We're paying for it today. $7 billion of local school property taxes. And we take out Medicaid, which is a federal program, either in or out. Our budget's going up just a little bit over 1% a year. Now contrast that with Washington. That's the kind of message we want to send. Contrast the fact that we've been trying to create more freedom here in Texas. And look what the Democrats in Washington are trying to do. Their answer, Barack Obama's answer to virtually every problem is more government. And that's not what we believe here in Texas. And that's not what Tea Party members, that's not what independents, that's not what conservative Democrats and Republicans believe. We want to see limited government. We want for government to do the things that they should and need to do. We want government to do them well, and all the rest will leave us alone. The uncertainty that's coming out of the Obama administration. We need predictability. Sure, we need to take care of people. Sure, we need to focus on our public education system. Sure, we have all these challenges, but we need to keep our economy growing. What's the most compassionate thing in the world? It's making sure that men and women have jobs.